What's up, Domino community? I'm Lily Hevish, and today I'll be teaching you how to build 3 simple marble tricks. So get your marbles and let's start building. Welcome to part 2 of my marble tricks tutorials. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, I definitely recommend watching that first over here. In this tutorial, I'll show you how to make 3 simple marble tricks, including going from a marble to a domino line, how to hold and release marbles, and my favorite, Newton's Cradle. I'm also going to leave a link in the description to all of these materials in case you want to replicate these tricks, but let's get into the tutorial. The first step is to prop up your building surface on an angle. You really don't want this to be sliding, so make sure it's not going to move as you're going to be building on it. From here, you can experiment with how the marble rolls on your building surface. First, let's learn how to make a marble transfer back to a domino line. I'm going to start cutting 1 centimeter strips on the side of the paper. Next, I'm going to cut a piece of double-sided tape and attach it to the smallest face of the domino. Now, with the domino flat on your building surface, you can easily attach the paper to the side of the domino. Now we can get our regular tape, make a couple of loops, and then attach that to the building surface. Next, place a flat domino on the end of the ramp. Now, depending on the angle of your wooden board, you may have to tape together 2 dominoes so it stays put. Otherwise, 1 domino would probably just fall off, but by having a thicker base, it will allow the domino to stay on the tilted board. And we're going to take another piece of tape and one-way tape hinge it to the building surface. So by using this tape hinge, the angled domino can fall in a very specific spot and it's not going to wobble over. The flat domino should be pushed in enough that the angled domino is just about to fall. From there, all we have to do is release the marble and then it goes into the tilted domino and back to a domino line. This one's really fun because sometimes dominoes can be used to trigger other things like bigger field starters and have more force than a marble. Next, let's learn how to hold and release marbles. I'm going to start by taping down some H5 Domino Creations field starters as ramps. One of the great things about using field starters is that I can just easily place a domino on the surface, and once the marble hits that domino, it moves down on the field starter, which allows the marbles on top of it to roll past. So as you're experimenting with releasing the marble off of the first ramp, see where it lands and make sure that marble lines up exactly with where that domino is. And depending on the weight of your marbles, the domino could be pushed up a little bit to hold it even further, or a bit back. If there's a lot of weight that needs to be held in place, you can also tape together multiple dominoes and make sort of a brick so it falls vertically instead of flat. I really love this trick because it's so simple. All it really is some weight that gets moved and then the marbles get released. And finally, here's how to make Newton's Cradle. Now, you may have seen the classic Newton's Cradle just going back and forth, back and forth. This is demonstrating the conservation of energy. So when the first marble is released, the energy is transferred through the rest of the marbles that are in contact with it, all the way to the last one, which keeps going forward. So first, we're going to make a path for the marble to follow by taping down some dominoes. We're going to start by making a slight incline, and then eventually it's going to level out to 0 degrees. Now on the flat section of the ramp, we can add our magnetic marbles and then 1 non-magnetic marble on the end of it. And if you position it so that it's almost on the edge of the ramp, it can then be triggered to fall down onto another ramp. So let's start it and see how it works. The marble goes down the slope, it hits the magnetic marbles, and the energy is transferred throughout the marbles to the non-magnetic marble, which is then pushed into the next ramp. These are super fun to add on to the already existing tricks from part 1. The possibilities are endless. I also want to give a shout out to our featured community member, Jaza Boy Dominoes. They've been making some awesome stuff recently, so go support their channel. And as always, I'm Lily Hevish, and keep on building.